I forgot to hit the button for a second. Just sitting here quietly. All right. A couple weeks ago, we talked going into the playoffs if all four of the 3A Region 5 teams could even win in the first round. Now one of those teams is going to be playing for the state championship because they're all four in the quarterfinals playing each other.
Yeah. So
I mean, how good is that region?
I mean, it's the best region in 3A, obviously. But I mean, it could be when you look at how competitive it is, it could be one of the tougher regions in all 7 classes.
Right.
Wellborn, you put Wellborn in another class, they're probably or another region, they're probably a region champ. Same could go for all 4 of the teams that are in there right now. Weaver was. I mean, they looked stout tonight. A 42-point win. They had a 30-point win last week. And then, Piedmont tonight, 38-21 over Colbert County. And Colbert County, I think, was, other than Piedmont, probably the other favorite in 3A North.
Yeah.
And it was 31-0 at the end of the third quarter, and some weird plays, turnovers, allowed Colbert County to score a couple of touchdowns late. So, I mean, Piedmont's still rolling. Ohatchee that's a pretty dominating win for them again. And then Randolph County was a little closer than I thought it'd be. Sylvania, must be a little, must have won. Yeah, they must be a little better this year. And then, but Randolph County, I think, is still a tough team. So, Weaver and Piedmont are going to face off next week, and then Ohatchee and Randolph County. So that's going to be a pretty good slate of games next week.
Yeah. Before we jump into that one, I want to, Hanley 20-14 over UMS Wright.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time the Tigers have beaten the Bulldogs. It's randomly thinking the UMS Wright's the Bulldogs. They knocked them out last year. They knocked them off in 2013, 2014, something like that. Mm-hmm. Larry Strand has the Tigers back in the quarterfinals for the first time since they won the state championship in 2011. First time he's been there since leading Woodland in 2012. And that's fun stats of the day with Chris Brown.
This Hanley team is good.
Yes.
They're very good. I mean, they've got talent all over the field. It's their defense is really physical. They run the ball well. It's a Larry Strain team. Of course, they're going to do both those things, but they've got a lot of talent to go along with that. And UMS Wright was one big hurdle they needed to get over, and they got through it. There's still some tough teams ahead.
Right.
But Hanley made a statement tonight, and that was a big win for him.
Right, we'll jump back into 3A real quick. Talk about Weaver 42-0 over Lexington. The Bearcats allowed 121 yards of total offense. Mm-hmm. They had 120 yards of penalties, so they so that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hall goes for 140, 150 on just 12 carries, 4 touchdowns. Paul Hubbard, they didn't really have to do too much through the air, so they just kind of kept running the ball. And the second half was kind of a blur because they were already up 28-0 at halftime, 42-0. They just rushed for 401 yards and sets up the Bulldog matchup next week.
Yeah, that'll be a big one, and the way Weaver's playing right now. Steve Smith, he made mention to this after Piedmont's win tonight, is that Weaver's one of those teams that's kind of scary because they're playing so well right now. They got a lot of momentum, so they're excited to be where they are, and they've kind of found a groove of what's working for them. Those teams are scary to play.
Yeah, it's the first time Weaver's been in the quarterfinals since 2005 when Coach Hamby or Daryl Hamby was an assistant under Paul Farlow when they went 12-0 and then losing to Cherokee County. Speaking of Cherokee County, they got another dub.
Yeah, they got 39-38 over West Limestone, so that's a pretty big win for them.
I think they got Hoax Bluff next week.
Yeah, who would have thought Hoax Bluff would have been, this far in it, but Hoax Bluff's continuing to roll, and then Spring Garden and Wadley, their season's about to come to an end tonight, and so did Clay Central. Yeah. And then Lincoln also took a tough loss to Jackson, so some good.
Some bad,
yeah.
Yep. And we'll roll into next week.